This
Parallel
conference
ledger.
will now be recorded.
Last we discussed about parallel ledger and parallel currency, and now we are moving to financial reports. See, till now whatever we have done, it's all about like financial. That means ultimately, why do we do this ledgers and financial like transactions and everything we see did to see the financial reports. That is the ultimate goal. So when it comes to that goal, so financial reports we have to see. So how we can see the reports, like say for example, what reports? So majorly financial reports we can say this P&L account, balance sheet, and like this treaty, like trial balance, P&L account, balance sheet, like this. This is the major concern. Other things, it's normal reports. So let us see how we can see these three things. We can go to f dot zero one to see the f dot zero one to see the trial balance. And the P&L account, we'll see. I'll tell you how to see that. That means in SAP you find lot of T codes for to see reports in a different way. It's a lot of reports we can see. But we keep some important T codes to see how it can work and how it's going to be used. So for example, this trial balance, we can see here. Go to f dot zero one. So enter the chart of accounts or company code which you are looking for to see the trial balance. And here the financial statement versions you give for the time being you give BAB. It's a standard version which we use it for to know the reports. We discussed this FSV in the later stage because we have that contents here in the FSV financial statement versions. FSV is there. FSV we'll see later. This we call financial statement version FSV in short we call. Just execute the program. You get like this. But before that, what you can do, you can select this ALV grid. ALV means as ABAP list viewer we call ABAP list viewer. So that is useful to use that as an Excel. The reports will come in the Excel format, so easy to handle. So you got this. As we are using a new system, the old entries are not there, but we can see trial balance means is always is going to be plus and zero and less. Sorry, it's always it should be zero. So do you all have a good idea about trial balance? See, if you don't have that
No,
idea, yes, Arshita,
no, sir.
no. See, that is not the problem here. See, those who see this video in future, also I tell you. See, if you want to be in companies in finance sector like this, like consulting, you don't need to be good at actually in SAP. SAP is just a tool which you should know how to use it for your financials. When you know finance good, then you can understand SAP good. If you try to understand only SAP, that is mechanical. Mechanical means the process like it's just like an engine. You just know where you have to go there and select. You what you are doing, you don't know the logic behind it. This is the reality. I tell you. Because the many people what they do, I know that as a commerce graduate, I know that the people who always struggle between these P&L account balance sheet, and I tried my best. If you remember, I tried my best to give the clarity about P&L account. You have to do work on this, not with SAP. When you know these things and understanding SAP is not. So do you remember? I had tried this liability balance sheet. If you are like somewhere else about the P&L account class they had taken, but that recordings was not there. But I remember. Yeah. So you should know the clarity. What is actually P&L? What is balance sheet? And what is trial balance? Trial balance is simple. So it's a thing that it's going to show you the total debits and credit should match. It's always match. It's not a big problem. But there is something. So P&L account and balance sheets. You should have this idea. I repeatedly tell you. When you have that idea, then you SAP will become SAP expert. But if you don't have this idea, you cannot become expert. You can be work mechanically. Clear the interview mechanically, do the things mechanically. Remember this. So why I'm telling you here? So when I'm showing you the trial balance, you should know what is actually trial balance. Just tell me what is trial balance. Why do we use it? Deepa, Nagalakshmi, Arshita. What is trial balance? Why do we use it? Do you remember it? Do you believe it or not? In interviews, or else when I'm talking to the any subordinates, or else when I'm talking to something junior level or something senior level, we cannot ask because they'll be having idea. But somewhere else when we are talking, definitely I ask these type of questions. See, for example, uh, so just 2 days back, not 2 days, yesterday I believe, one of my colleague was asking, teach me costing. Okay, teach me like he wants to interview. He is asking from long time, and I didn't teach him actually costing, but I asked him, tell me the difference between a simple question. Tell me the difference between when you buy a product, a raw materials from vendor, and you keep it in stock and you send it for production to produce finished good. This is one scenario. Remember, why am I am telling this importance of understanding these things before going to SAP? That's the reason. I asked him this question. You have a stock account. That means store. A store is there in an office and the production unit is there. And you are buying from vendor raw materials. See, you require raw materials to produce the finished good. That means whenever we want to produce anything, what we do, we purchase an anticipated materials from vendor, we keep it in store, and we send it to production whenever they ask. Okay, they ask, okay, I want to produce this much, send me this raw materials. So this is one scenario. Another scenario I tell you. So another company where there is no store at all, they don't store anything. So whenever they want to produce anything, they directly buy the products from vendor. What's the difference you are seeing? Please, all of you talk. See, even I cannot, I don't feel that okay mechanically to complete this course, but I'm trying my best to make you best. So tell me, what's the difference to above and below? Yes, Harshita, Nagalakshmi, Deepa, please open up your. Can I
Sir,
get some? Yes, Harshita.
Sir, both advantage and disadvantage is there.
Now I'm not asking different disadvantage. I'm asking the difference between above scenario and below scenario. The above scenario, we buy the materials and keep it in store. Whenever the production is required, we send the like that product to production unit. Second scenario, we don't keep it in store and we buy the raw materials whenever the production is required directly. So what is the difference between above and here? We are eliminating store here. That means we don't keep any stock. So my question is, what is the impact of financial interest in above two scenarios? What is the financial interest in the top, and what's the financial in the below?
Sir,
So
if
why am
we
yeah.
Above stock in hand will come, sir.
Okay.
And below we don't have stock. Whenever the production is start, though that time we will buy the product and start the production.
Financial transaction, journal entry. What's the journal entry for
Ju-
above and what's it for below? See, don't worry about this. Okay, don't worry. However, I'm going to teach you at the time of like in the next topic itself, at the time of production planning. I'm going to teach you that. Don't worry about it. I'm going to teach. But why I'm telling? I asked this question to him. You tell me the difference between these two, then you will understand costing better. I said. So initially he struggled, and then he discussed, and this one had given a lot of examples. Then he understood the difference. Okay, how the financial impacts is. Then I said him, now you go and try to understand costing. You'll understand. Then he asked me the question after trying to understand. I said, that means I made him to understand first what is actually the process. Then I said him to understand the process in SAP. Don't try to understand the process through SAP. Okay. So my instruction is here. Don't try to understand the trial balance from SAP. You should understand what is trial balance first. Then you should understand. You have to learn how to see the trial balance in SAP. That is very much important. You have to understand what is P&L account. Then you should tell what is P&L account, how to see the P&L account in balance sheet. It's not required to see the trial balance. Can tell me what is trial balance, all of you?
Trial balance, the closing ledger balances will transfer to the trial balance.
Yes, of course. That closing ledger balances we transfer to P&L account also, balance sheet also. Do we do anything extra there? Same, right?
Yeah.
Then why do we require trial balance?
Sir,
Yes, Nagalakshmi.
sir, it helps the user to balance the credit and debit balance correctly.
See, debit or credit, you balance it, you don't balance it. It always automatically balances because every entry is a double entry. You cannot save any entry without debit and credit. You only debit you cannot save. You have to debit on credit, on debit should be there. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then what's the purpose of like it balances? Sarshita?
Sir, to do the internal audit in the business.
No.
To know the financial position.
That is balance sheet. That is what I don't want these mechanical answers. Okay, I use this word because we live mechanically. We learn mechanically. Because I want to get a marks, we learn it. I want to get a job, okay, I learn it. So you have to learn to understand. That's what is required. See, that is the core area where you can understand SAP easily. You don't need to struggle. So trial balance was there and it's there still. We use it. Yes, of course, whatever the answers you said is correct. But see, there is the debits and credits of the like of all the GLs are going to be matched up. But When you do that, okay, when you do this, so this includes both balance sheet and as well as P&L account GLs. So whenever it's matching, yes, we are okay. Whenever it's matching here, it has to match. We are okay with it. Without that, it's not. But before, if you go there, now say now we are seeing this in electronically. It's very easy because system pick up all the data from automatically from the GL accounts to this. But think of before system, what they were doing. They were doing this manually. They were doing this manually. Am I right? So when they were like 30 years back, if you go, everything was going in books, not in computers. So then it was in department's assurance that every totals whatever we are taking to the P&L account and balance sheet are matching each other, because there may be some manual errors or typical errors. Typical means I can say now typical, very like writing errors or missed some entries, maybe some zeros, maybe some like maybe wrong postings, maybe whatever it is, wrong statistical errors. So that was used to be identified through this trial balance. That was because they wanted to prepare before creating P&L and balance. They wanted to match this because see, when I'm entering manually, so when I'm entering here, okay. So when I'm taking these GL accounts, maybe there may be like 100 GLs like this. When I'm taking this totals from here, okay, I'm manually if I take like even if you're entering in Excel, you do the manual mistakes, zeros or something else. My human error is common, but it was there in the before. But now it is not much important here, but it's in the company's trial balance. They will check before before going to see the trial balance. So purpose of this before when the books accounts were doing in books, it wanted to take the values properly here before taking here P&L account and balance sheet, because they manually post this transaction to P&L and balance sheet. But now everything automatically get posted from the GL account. They used to take the total from the journal entry. They used to take it to the GL accounts. From GL accounts, they used to take it to the P&L account, and this is the flow. But so the balance is what we are taking from the GL until now, whatever the journal entry we posted, whether it's correct or not, how can we confirm it? So that's the reason in between they added before taking to the P&L and balance, they added trial balance. So the name says trial balance. So the trial balance makes sure that the entries, whatever we are, the values which you are taking, P&L account GLs and balance sheets are matching each other, because every entry is a double entry. So if that is zero, then okay, we can take the values to the P&L, because that's going to break up here. See here how it's going to be break up at 10. Let it this open here. I go for one more here, one more same f.01, and here I give the company code and as usual pay, but here I'll give the GL accounts from the group only P&L account or balance sheet. I'll take from 100 to 2500. I'll take balance sheet GLs here. This total like end to end, and another one I take f.01. This time I take only P&L accounts 40005, 450 to 540099. So now I execute both together. I executed. I do select this ALU grid. We are getting this value. I take up this total here. I can take up this total here in the sigma. If you click select this column and click on this sigma, you get the total. I'm getting debit value of 40301. This is the loss I'm getting actually because sales is only 6,000. The expenses is 4,09,000. So that I got 4,03,401. So here I get this. I select ALV grid and I just execute. Here what I have only balance sheet GLs. See this here. Here I'm getting only balance sheet GLs. I'm going to total up. How much I'm getting here? These and all balance sheets here 1522233. Here 4 and 5 series. We have simple data. So what's the difference we are getting between these? Yes. Yes, please. Getting what I'm trying to tell? So I'm trying to tell you here, a double entry system means in accounting, it's always matches the data. So I had clear explanation about P&L account and balance sheet and long back. So I asked you to and please get understand about this, not on about the SAP. And now also I'm telling the same thing. See here, whenever I the trial balance, when I take both of these, its system is giving me zero because all debits and credits are matching. Because in an entry, we use stationary debit to bank credit. Bank is a balance sheet GL. Stationary is the expenses GL. But you see here how it is matched automatically. You are seeing here 403401 is a debit and 403401 is a credit here. The balance sheet GL. So how it's going to be happening? This you should have clarity. What's the relationship? What is the thing? How it's connected? Because P&L account is an expenses and asset is like P&L in, like expenses is also like whatever we spend, it's also expenses. Whatever we invest is also expenses. That means all assets. So the clarity of this should be in your mind. It's very very much important about accounting. So we keep these expenses in P&L account to know the sum of the revenues and expenses which we are doing. The differences only we'll push it instead of directly pushing to the balance sheet. P&L account is also an account. Remember, just like a ledger, a general ledger. Just like a general ledger, P&L account is also a ledger, which takes the totals of all the ledgers and gives the differences. That differences will be pushed at the end year of the year end to the balance sheet, so that balance sheet will upgrade automatically. That means here balance sheet is showing credit. I'll push this debit to this loss. Automatically, it will get matched. So when you want to be expert in SAP, you have to be very clear in this concept, not with SAP. See that, try to understand from this angle. SAP is very easy. Don't try to understand SAP, and from SAP, don't try to understand finance. If you understand finance, then you have to understand SAP. Are you getting my point? Deepa, Nagalakshmi, Ashita, please open up your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Ashita. So now, how much your confidence in this trial balance? Tell me. Please be frank. How much you are very clear with this? Yes, please. How much confident you are? Please tell me this actually. I can take you to the further, not a big deal. I can take and I can show this, and I can go for P&L account. I can show the differences, and I can push it, and I can go for controlling. I can see the, I can give the reason for controlling model. I can go it. But unless you don't have this clarity, what's the use of like going there? Uh, so what you have to do, right? You have to understand this trial balance and how this connectivity works. Please understand this. Do you have idea about writing? If I give some this one. Uh, Exercises like past journal entry and create P&L account and balance sheet. A simple exercise. Can you all of you do it in books and come show me? Say for example, I tell you what I am telling here. Don't write in SAP. Okay. Just take this. Take this example. So stationary expenses. Okay. Debit. That means show one stationary like one expenses or stationary expenses. Just take an expenses. Expenses 500 rupees or else 800 rupees and sales is 1000 rupees and balance this one bank loan, okay, 1000 rupees and cash in hand 1000 rupees. So this is the beginning balance sheet entry, okay, and this is 1 year P&L account entry, okay, just assume this. So now let us, I said this in the last like long back, but I tell you now. So just assume that you have started your business just like this. Let me prepare a balance sheet now. This is beginning means just assume that April 1st balance sheet or else January 1st, I'll take it. Jan 1st balance sheet. Okay, I started my business with a bank loan, 1000 rupees. And I don't have anything else, I just make it 1000 rupees in cash. And for entire year, I did this only on 31st of December. Okay, all ledger accounts. I have only two ledgers. One is expenses, sales, and bank loan, and this one. I have taken these P&L account ledgers and I mentioned here. Some expenses I did this 1800 rupees and sales I did 1000 rupees. So this is my 31st. So what's going to happen here? See here, balance sheet means I took some loan sources of fund and I made in like I kept it in cash. For entire year, I made a separate accounts to identify my operational expense. That means, so this whatever the individual ledgers you have P&L account ledgers, it's a totals is one ledger that is P&L account ledger. It take the totals. I've taken. I might have expenses. I might have done like 10 rupees, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 16 rupees like that. I have made a total 800 rupees. And sales I might have done 100 rupees, 50 rupees like that. Multiple times I have made a journal entry. Then I'm taking this total to this one. That's it. I'm not taking this P&L account. Okay, detailed one. I'm taking the summary of each ledger. So then I push this. So that means I got this total here. So 800 is my expenses and revenue. So that means I got profit of 200. So what's going to happen? I did it in all cash and carry. So as I got this 1,000 rupees sales, I spent 800 rupees and I got 1,000. Yes, of course, 200 rupees is increased and my cash will get increased, right? Am I right? My cash will get increased, right?
Sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Harshita, you also please concentrate. I create a cash account. In cash account, I had a balance, debit balance, 1,000 rupees already, and I spent, that is expenses, I spent 800, and sales I got 1,000 rupees. So what is my left balance here at the year end? Balance is 1,200.
1,200.
So now if I prepare my balance sheet as on 31st December, 31st December balance sheet. So my cash is right now, balance is, cash account is 1,200. And I have bank loan like that only, I didn't touch it all. But it's increased by 200 rupees. So why it is 300 rupees increased? Because I made some of the accounts separately kept and I take the total of this one. So that is profit. I tell you another way. If I don't maintain, if I don't maintain this P&L account, if I maintain only this, just for a time being, on 1st of January, I took a bank loan and I took a cash. I kept it in cash. For entire year, I did. And if I directly enter here, my expenses 800 and sales 1,000. So don't you think that I got the same result? Because my cash is increased here. Because cash and carry. So same result I got, right? If I treat expenses and also assets in the same and liabilities and also revenue as a same account, don't you think that I got the same result of this what I'm seeing here?
Maybe escalation matrix.
Yes, right? Nagalakshmi, Deepa, Harshita.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That means the P&L account or balance sheet, we just make it for a separate only because of to understand or some of the accounts details separately and we take the total to the balance sheet at year. P&L account is just in separate accounts we maintain as ledgers to know the sum of the expenses and revenues, the money is coming in or going out. To kept it in separate account, only totals will be taken to the balance sheet at the year end, just like this. If you don't want P&L account, if you can enter the direct things here, you get the same result ultimately. See, these two are not actually this one, and I kept you have the cash. These two are is just a temp. It's already done. So you have to understand essay this one, essay accounting in this way. And trial balance means what's happening here. I tell you. So bank loan, credit. We have 1,000 rupees. Cash, debit, 1,000 rupees. Debit into rate, cash. Okay. Sales, 1,000 rupees. Okay. Expenses, 200 rupees. Sorry, 800 rupees. So now you see this trial balance. If I look at from this angle, if I look at from this angle, it's not matching actually. Debit and credit. So when I look only from this angle, when I look from only this angle, it's not. But why it's going to be not matched? So the cash is going to be 1200, right? At the end year, end of the year. So this is trial balance. If you see like this. So why this was preparing before? Because when I am entering manually in the ledgers, if I miss, like if I am entering 1200, if I miss 1000, 1,20,000, and if I can take the same values to the P&L account or else balance sheet, it won't match at all, because this and all has to automatically match. So to make sure that company started this trial balance in the middle before transferring the values to this one. Okay, whether debit and credits are matching properly. Is there any manual error? Got it now? But now it's not possible, because in SAP, if it's not matching, debits and credits are matching, it won't allow at all. There's no worry. But before it was important. Got it? The idea behind trial balance.
Yes, sir. Sir,
My suggestion is here. Go back and do your R&D on trial balance, P&L account, and balance sheet. Please keep that in your mind first, very clearly. Very clear idea about, because see, we are going to talk to the CFOs, CEOs like this when you become a consultant. You have to be very clear idea about these things, specifically these three things. If you don't have this idea, mechanically I can show this. Say for example, I showed you already this trial balance, and I can go to P&L account, like there is a T code for, like for that S underscore PL0 underscore 86000030, where we can see the P&L account and balance sheet. It's a T code, big T code. Not a big deal. But if you don't have the idea of what is actually happening there, showing and seeing that is no use. Because I show you in Excel format, not in like what you do it in books only. Like in books we write like debit or like liabilities are left side, asset right side. You don't see like that. You don't look the trial balance sheet like that. You see the balance sheet and trial balance just like this only. Vertical balance sheet, vertical trial balance. Sorry, vertical P&L account. So because when you have this clarity here, then I can link these things to make you understand better about controlling model. When you don't have this clarity here, and how can I link this here? No use at all. Because you should know how to view the balance sheet and P&L account. Please understand that. Can you do your homework, or else are you confident to carry forward? But I'm telling you very clearly. Don't try to understand what is P&L account, what is balance sheet, what is trial balance from SAP. You should understand what is those things. Then you have to come back to how to see that in SAP. SAP is not teaching accounts. SAP is teaching how to use SAP to do the accounts. We are doing that. What do you do, Arshita? Arshita,
sir,
what do you do?
sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, Arshita.
Sir, then can we tell before entering into balance sheet, just we are trialing the amounts which we can put like that.
Yes, we are trying out. That's correct. But what is actually balance sheet and P&L account, and how these things are connected? Do you have that clarity? That means
Yes, sir.
Not like definition, pay and account definition, balance sheet definition. So I said this right. You have to this one just now what I explained. So you should have this print in your mind before understanding a set. This print should be there very clear because I'm showing you the difference here. For 4 lakh minus here, 4 lakh plus here. You can take this example and understand how it is minus and plus. Do your manual book connectivity like this example because when I'm doing Excel may not be very clear. Write down, take this much example only. Don't take big examples. Take only small examples and connect the dots to understand the clear picture in your mind. That will definitely help you. That's really make you perfect in SAP also in your job. Because here afterwards, everything is introduced because of this purpose only. Can you do that manually in the books and come back tomorrow, or else what you do? What's your wish, Deepa, Arshita, and Nagalakshmi? Because unless you don't have this print in your mind, how this connected, balance sheet, P&L account in your mind, I'm not telling in SAP, I'm not telling in your Excel or something else. So if you ask me the debits and credits journal entry, it's not going to be very difficult to me because we use the logic here. We don't use the formulas like what is golden rules we call it. Yes, what do you do? Tell me fast.
We can
Do your homework and come back with your clarity of your experience. If you're not understanding what is actually is going there, don't worry. You ask me that question first. What is actually like today I asked trial balance. Like, what is trial balance? Where is now and how it's work? You ask me that question. Don't no need to understand SAP first. If you get that clarity, understanding SAP is easy. Or else mechanically I want to show and I need to go. That I don't like it actually. Will you do it?
Yes, sir.
Work for it. Work for it, and try to understand these three concepts. And what you are not understanding, tell me. First, I'll explain this. Try to do this in books. Don't try in Excel. Don't try it in SAP. Try to do it in books only with this example. With the different amounts, you can keep changing and connect the dots so that you are going to easily understand other things. Today, you please sit and do this in books, and tomorrow you come and I then ask me these questions clarity. I'll ask you something so that if I'm satisfied, I can take you to the SAP and show you these things. Because I am going to show you the different things over there. I'm going to connect to the business area, cost centers, profit centers. A lot of things are there. So these things are dependent on this concept. Got it, na?
Okay, sir.
Deepa,
We will do.
Yes, yes, sir.
do it at home and in books you try. And if you get any doubts, now call me. Like if you are personally not understanding something about this, you call me and let me explain in your way. Okay, simple questions. Prepare and try. And when you are not understanding, you call me. Don't ask me for ABCD, please. Okay. Okay, I share this Excel and my videos. Maybe tomorrow I'll share it. Definitely share it because tomorrow I'm not going to office. Okay. I share this tomorrow, and please do this without fail before coming to tomorrow's class. Without fail, you have to do this manual experience. Okay.